Hello everyone. A quick note before we start this show. As you may notice, this episode has been a little late in being published this month. Caused for two reasons. One was that we were a week late in recording due to the festive and holiday period. But in addition to that, we did have some technical issues with this show. We're joined by guest Ty Callaghan-Jones. Unfortunately, we had some issues with his audio during recording, and as a result, it's taken me a bit of effort to get the recording cleared up and in a listenable state. I'm afraid it's nowhere near perfect, so I'd like to apologise for some of the audio quality on this episode of Meeples and Miniatures. I hope it doesn't spoil your enjoyment too much. The Meeples and Miniatures podcast is sponsored by Two Fat Lardies, Firestorm Games, and the generous donations of you, the listener. A huge thanks to everyone for your support. It's very much appreciated. Meeples and Miniatures, episode 259. Crusade and Mehagames, with hosts Neil Shuck and Mike Hobbs, and guest Ty Callaghan-Jones. This show was recorded on the 9th of January, 2018. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Meeples and Miniatures podcast. I am the Brummy Dwarf. It is Neil Shuck coming to you from Meeples Towers, and I am joined once again by my compatriot in adventuring. It is, of course, the Welsh wizard himself. It is Mr. Michael Hobbs. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, Neil. Hello, Meeps. I'm fine. How are you?
I know, I'm suddenly feeling a bit old, you know?
Right, why's that then?
It's just...
because you are old.
Yeah, it is because I'm old. Yeah, old and getting older, mate. Old and getting older. Yeah.
Happy
So,
to you. Happy birthday to you. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are recording this on the day before Neil's 55th birthday.
What? 55th?
You are 55, aren't
you? No.
Well, you know that present I bought you?
Okay.
Probably don't want to open it. Keep it for a couple more years.
Oh dear. 55?
Hey, you're lucky.
It's not the age, it's the mileage. Is that what you're telling me?
Any way you want to justify it, that's fine.
Right. Okay, and yeah, anyway, we are joined. We have a third chair. So someone has been stupid enough. I mean, someone has accepted our invitation to come on the show for our first show for 2019, and so we would like to welcome to the show none other than Ty Callaghan-Jones. Hello, Ty. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me on.
Well, and yes, we've invited Ty to the show. And as I was sharing with Ty just before we recorded, I've invited him on despite the fact that he's a Seahawks fan. But I'll try not to hold that against him too long. However, if you're not into American football, then that will go way over your head. So yeah, okay, yeah, thanks, Mr. Hobbs.
Thanks for the last half hour.
I don't know. You try and educate somebody about a decent
It's
sport.
about games now.
Okay.
Decent
fair
sport. Six Nations starting soon. That's a decent sport.
Anyway,
Yes.
Ty, welcome to the
Yeah.
show. So, obviously, we both know you, but for those people who have never met you, tell us about yourself. Tell us how you got involved in gaming.
Well, I'm a child of the Napoleonic 20mm Airfix generation. That's how it all started for me back in the early 70s. Well, that was the first set. The old Airfix Bruce Quarry rules. They were a purple or a red covered book. They were the first proper rules that I used, apart from marbles and a matchstick cannon. Then moved on to WRG 4th Ed. Moving on then into then World War II, got involved in all of that. Again, Bruce Quarry's brilliant set of rules. Then into the 80s, I discovered role-playing. So Dungeons and Dragons, Quest, Traveller, House of Trolls, and just about every other one. Then moving through the 80s, got a couple of jobs. Then all my gaming opponents disappeared, so I ended up joining the Carnarvon District Wargames Club. That was early 90s. Through that, I ended up joining the Sealed Knot, doing a lot of LARPing, and currently I'm trying to do it all at the same time.
Wow.
How's that working out for you?
That's a point. Yeah. Sleeping, I should just fit in sleeping now. I've probably got the work-life balance for me. But yeah, lots of things going on. Too many things, not enough time.
Yeah, happens to us all.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, so a long gaming pedigree. Yeah. What's your? I mean, you said you started with Napoleonics. Is that still your favourite period, or what are you into these days? Is it a bit?
Really well. At the moment, Ancients to the strongest. The World Championship Child Road in February on the 23rd, I think. Hopefully it's the 23rd, otherwise I'm going to the wrong place at the wrong time. And prior to that, I'm organising as part of Golden Dag, which is like an ancient wargames weekend at Firestone. Saturday 19th, I've got an 18-player tournament organised as a pre-Child Grove Test Your Army. So it's my first time organising one. I was saying to Mike earlier, just before we came on air tonight, I was still checking army lists that are coming in. So it's a lot more work in the background than I ever imagined it would be to organise something like that.
So what's that? That's on the 19th of January, is it? Oh, right, okay. Oh, gutted, missed that one.
Mr. Slade's coming, so he's signed up.
I'm not. I'm away, unfortunately.
To be honest, I know it's last minute, but I was wondering, I'll be interested in that, and then, no, I'm busy. Gutted. Mind you, having said that, I don't think I'll quite finish 101 Cavalry by next week. I think that might be pushing it a bit.
bit of brown, bit of silver, you'll be okay. Squint. Get away with it.
Don't go there, Ty. Honestly, just don't go there. But we've, I've known you for probably about 10 years, isn't it, Ty? No? Must be more than that.
It's longer than I think because we met via the club, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Because I've still got those 6mm Roix and Ross.
Oh, God, yeah.
Gave me. That's the first game we played, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we tried their rules.
Yeah. Yeah, still got those. But again, probably World War II is that's the period I keep going back to consistently. But also like a bit of sort of 7 Years War. Tend to play Maurice with those.
Yeah, and you do a lot of play testing as well, don't you? And
Yes, for Sam. Would you like to talk about that? Or
Oh, I don't know. We can talk about the stuff we've done for him.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're quite allowed to talk about the stuff that
Yeah.
that is
we may or may not
currently
be doing.
Yes. Yeah. So again, via Mike, got involved doing Rommel. Star Jumper?
Free jumper.
Free Jumper. Yeah.
Free jumper.
Yes. The fun games of playtesting for Sam.
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
It is a bit. It's good to see you going though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Cool.
figure
Well,
froth at the moment.
excellent stuff. So, I mean, are you just a miniatures gamer? Do you do board games at all? Or,
Yeah, do it all. I know you play Gloomhaven. Actually, 2 Gloomhaven campaigns. One on a Wednesday, one on a Thursday.
Well, you're running 2. Good grief.
Yeah, I got two
Yeah.
friends that one of them owns it, so I've ended up playing that 2 different campaigns. So in one, I'm playing that Tinkerer character.
That's all right. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And the one I'm playing tomorrow, the Vermling Assassin. It's an interesting character.
Oh, we haven't got him because we got the Inox, the is it Orchid, the sorcerer, and then a human scoundrel.
Right, yeah, we've got the Scoundrel's the common one in both of our campaigns as well.
Yeah, which is who deals out a scary amount of damage, especially once he gets to about 3rd or 4th level. But so how are you? I know we're digressing a little bit from, but how are you finding Gloomhaven yourself?
Absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. Again, it's a bit like playing a console game where you'll play it to death for a few weeks, and then you think, I need to have a rest now. But then you'll get an itch. You'll go back to it for a while. So that's the way I find it.
So, have you found in the 2 campaigns you've followed similar paths, or have you digressed?
No, pretty similar. Again, I try because I'm playing the 2. I try not to influence anything with the decision making. So I'll maybe do a tie break and let other guys make the decisions. Because some stuff has happened in both campaigns, and obviously one happens before the other, so I know what's coming. So it's trying to sit on my hands and say nothing.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
That's got to be weird playing 2 campaigns at once.
It is, because you sit down and play and thinking, okay, we've done this. And I said, no, that was last week.
I know, that was it. Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, but again, we both parties have decided to play on the good side, if you like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the path we went down. Yeah. But, yes, in some ways, it would be interesting to see what happened. See what happens if you go down the other leg. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit too late for us. We've solidly committed.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. As have we. Yes. 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 Last week was definitely the point of no return. Yes. But.
So cool. So Neil, why have we invited Mr. Callaghan-Jones here this week? Other than the fact he was free.
He doesn't realise he's not getting paid for this.
Don't talk about.
Oh. Well, amongst other things, one of Ty's many talents is that he also happens to organise. Actually, one of the first wargame shows in the UK calendar, which is Crusade, which is happening. Was it 23rd of January this year? Is it?
26th. It's always the last Saturday in January.
got me dates wrong. Oh, okay, yeah, 26th of January. Okay, so, despite, the fact that, he's a top guy and, we always enjoy gaming with Ty. We thought we'd have him on to chat about organising a show in the UK calendar and the fun and games thus entailed.
I'm not sure about the fun bit, but yeah.
Amongst other things, yes, the trials and tribulations of organising a wargame show in the UK. Cool. So, I suppose without further ado, shall we crack on and approach the confessional booth?
Yeah.
Oh dear, indeed. Right. Okay, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, it's time to divulge what we've been buying since Christmas. Oh, because it's been a while. The Meeples and Miniatures podcast is very proud to be sponsored by the multi-award-winning Two Fat Lardies. In the recent Wargames Illustrated Awards, they were recognised no less than 3 times. Best Game of 2018, Chain of Command. Best New Game of 2018, Water Tanker. And were also recognised for their level of customer service. This award means that Chain of Command has actually won Best Game for 2 years running. And to celebrate this, Two Fat Lardies are running an award-winning sale on their website, with copies of the rules for Chain of Command, Sharp Practice, Water Tanker and Dux Britanniarum all reduced. So, if you have just the rules themselves, or perhaps a bundle including campaign books or scenario expansions, check out the Two Fat Lardies website at twofatlardies.co.uk. And whilst you're there, why not pick up a copy of the Lard 2018 magazine? A publication packed with scenarios, campaigns, articles, interviews, and reports. And then don't forget to check out Lard Island News, where Rich has posted a series of articles about creating your own jungle terrain. Award-winning rules, inspiring blog posts, and great spare time reading. You can find it all on the Two Fat Lardies website, twofatlardies.co.uk. Play the period, not the rules. So, dear listener, you join us with visions of me dressed in a wimple in my brain thanks to Mr. Hobbs.
Very welcome.
Oh, dear.
Monsignor.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here, once again, out of sight of the great guru himself, to confess all about what we have been doing and what we have been spending our hobby budgets on since Christmas. Well, it was before Christmas we recorded the last show. So we've had, 3 weeks. 3 whole weeks of goodies to talk about.
Yeah.
So shall we invite our guest to go first, shall we? And say, Ty.
Nice.
Ty, pray tell, first off, were you a good boy and did Santa bring you any hobby goodies for Christmas?
Certainly did.
Excellent stuff.
Yes. So curtail my spending, but there you go. Yeah, I got the Rise of Fenris campaign expansion for Scythe.
Oh, wow.
So looking forward to getting into that this year as well.
Okay, so I mean, I've only played Scythe a couple of times. So what does so what does a Scythe campaign entail?
Well, I haven't actually opened it yet, believe it or not.
No, we believe that. That's normal.
But you'd say you've played Scythe before, where generally it's all versus all.
Yes.
Well, as I understand the campaign, your first game, I think it's an 8-game campaign. First game you play normal Scythe, and then some invaders from afar turn up. You've got to decide whether to be friends with them and trade, or join together and go to war with them.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And then obviously, depending on what boxes you open, you've then got choices. So you can sort of do team play, as opposed to each individual player playing their own faction.
It's like a legacy campaign, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mike, to explain, legacy is something that's really started to become popular in board gaming in recent years. It basically means that as you play through the game changes. Yeah. So you may either gain new components, you may even destroy components. The big thing is like for example, you start losing like game cards.
Yeah.
Or what have you. So I mean, like Gloomhaven, for example, is actually a legacy game. So as you go through the game, encounters only happen once. So once that encounter has happened, it will never happen again in a campaign you play. You can alter cards permanently by adding abilities to them, that sort of thing. And it's something that started coming about. It wasn't Pandemic Legacy that started it, but certainly I think that Pandemic Legacy is probably one of the most popular legacy games around there. But you get there's lots of there's even things like legacy risk games and that sort of thing, where things like the maps start changing and all that sort of stuff. So basically, it's any game where as you play through the game, the physical components involved in the game can change.
Yeah. And they're sort of designed to be played once, aren't they? Yeah.
Which, depending on your thought, is exactly. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Mind you, suppose considering at the end of the day, if you're playing like Pandemic Legacy, for example, it's designed to be played over a year, and you potentially have 2 goes at each month. So I suppose by the time you played it 24 times, you might be completely fed up with the game anyway. But just the sheer thought of, permanently altering a game component in a game, that's it. Especially...
it is a really strange experience. Again, we've done Pandemic 1 and 2. So,
you've done 1 and 2, yeah?
And it's... the first time you rip a card up or put a sticker on a board, knowing that there's no way back after that. Well, I think once you've done the first bit, it's okay.
Yeah. It's sort of bugger, so you may as well just carry on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's knowing that you are consciously doing that. I've just spent 60 quid on a game and I'm going to destroy it. I can never play it again. It's genius marketing.
Yeah.
Which is obviously why, especially like Pandemic, for example, they offer it in 2 different boxes. So you have a red, so like for example, Season 1 has a red box and a blue box. So you can play it with 2 different groups in 2 separate boxes, and knowing that, the components will end up being different in both boxes.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I still get the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, but I just don't like the idea of breaking things. I just like to have a sort of a way back if needs be.
Yeah.
So I know this is again digressing. Yeah. Oh, what a shock! But yeah, digressing from Confessional. But Ty, since you're talking about legacy games, I mean, in Pandemic, did you ever open one of the envelopes that says "Do not open these"?
No, we were very good. We were very, very, very well. I don't think he listens to the podcast. It won't be too bad. But the guy that sort of owned it and sort of ran the admin side has got terrible OCD. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do stuff like that.
He couldn't open it because he said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that." Yeah.
And we used to play with him. Really. We'd put stickers on the board at an angle or not in the same place every time.
Oh, that would kill me.
Yeah.
Oh, that would drive me absolutely insane. Oh, you horrible man. Oh, dear. Well, anyway, yes, as I say, we digress. So, okay, so Fenris for side.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then I picked up the new Savage Worlds Adventurer set rules, but again, it was only PDF, so I bought my little present to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I picked up the Achtung Cthulhu Keeper's Guide from Savage Worlds as well.
Oh, right, cool, yeah.
I've been talking to Ralph about that one. His fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting setting for Call of Cthulhu, isn't it? Put Call of Cthulhu in World War II, and it's like,
Yeah, I mean, it kind of scratches two itches for me. It's I can do role playing and I can do World War II. So
It'd be fun to get that to the table.
Yeah.
Might give me an excuse to pay some figures.
If you do, let me know. I'll definitely be interested in that one.
yeah, because I think the idea is that I think Ralph wants to run the Atlantis campaign, but what we'll do, we'll meet up at Firestorm probably and just do a face-to-face session, maybe do a one-shot connected with it to get people into it. And then we'll just do the rest elements of the Roll20 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so you're looking at doing it for Savage Worlds as opposed to doing Cthulhu.
Yeah,
The rules are written by Matithias, aren't they?
that's right.
Yes. Yeah, but and they can be run with either system.
Yeah.
They've been designed to either run with the Chaosium system or with Savage Worlds.
Right.
Yes, that was one. That was one of the first Kickstarters I backed. Yeah, I've got it all in PDF.
Yeah.
Got some really quite. Again, it was a similar sort of thing. It was like World War II and Cthulhu in World War II. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it ticked a lot of boxes.
Cool. So, anything else you picked up?
No, that was it. I was hoping to. I backed the Tunnels and Trolls Books of Horror Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did you back that one, Mike?
I didn't back that one, no.
No, I've just had an update now. Basically, Rick Loomis has said that he's been very ill over the Christmas period. He's delayed the shipping.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery. So we've all had the PDFs back in it anyway. But I was hoping to get like the hard copy for Christmas. But obviously his health is a bit.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Mm.
But, yeah, apart from that, that's all I bought since Christmas.
God, you've been good.
I know. Games Expo's coming out. Buy the tickets for that on Fridays.
Oh, yeah, I got
Oh,
mine.
yes.
Yeah. I booked my tickets.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I haven't bought mine yet, but the live. The live events tickets go live on Friday, isn't it? I don't think they've announced the. I don't think they're doing all the RPG sessions quite yet, are they?
Just collecting names for umpires at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm hoping Dirk the Dice has got his Strong Team Dog slot.
Yeah, that'd be good. Otherwise, there's always the virtual grog meet.
Yes, that's plan B.
Yeah. Good. So, what about you, Mr. Shuck? So, what did you get for Christmas?
What did I? Well, as has been hinted, because my birthday is immediately after Christmas, it all usually comes in one lot because I cheat and go. Well, actually, can I have this? and it's like, I have like Christmas and birthday together. Then if I get any, and basically, normally when people say, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas?" I say, "Oh, just give me a bit of cash and I'll put it towards something." So this year, that happened again, and my main Christmas and birthday present was Mansions of Madness 2nd edition plus several of the expansions. Basically because I know under normal circumstances I may or may not have got it. I mean, it is, has been my favourite game for the last 2 years. But obviously, the mate Dave owns it.
Yeah, he gives all of it.
Yes. And it wasn't until, when was it? Probably November, actually. In the back end of October or November was actually one evening we got Josh involved in the game and got to the end of the game, and Josh absolutely loved it. And he went, "Where?" He was like, "Dad, yeah. Why do we not own this game?" So actually, it's a very good point. Because it's actually, it's entirely Josh's fault.
Yeah.
It's entirely Josh's fault that my Christmas and birthday present this year was Mansions of Madness, and it's currently available at expansions. So I've got a few because it's just awesome game. So I got that, and then just before Christmas, I think it was after we recorded the last show, but just before Christmas, Chewbacca and the Wookiees came out for Star Wars Legion. So I picked those up. I got another board game for Christmas off somebody as a Secret Santa, which I did tweet about, which was, now, this will get our non-UK listeners scratching their heads and kind of going, what? But people of a certain age, and it has to be people of a certain age in the UK, will remember in the 70s, was it late 60s? Might have even been might have even been late 60s. It was definitely early 70s. There was a sitcom called On the Buses.
Okay,
right. And indeed, which is funny enough, set in a bus depot. And we did a Secret Santa with amongst some of my wife's friends and us and what have you. And this one chap, I don't know how he did it, I don't know where he found it, but he thought, Neil's into gaming, and he works for a bus company, and managed to get, I don't know where we got it, but he managed to get hold of a copy of the On the Buses board game.
Ting ting.
Yes, there is a board game that exists for On the Buses, which apparently, according to Board Game Geek,
it's on Board Game
was it's on Board Game Geek. Yeah, it came out in about 73 or something like that. But yes, it is on Board Game Geek. That's the thing you love about Board Game Geek. It's like, pretty much everything you find is on there. So I got a copy of On the Buses.
Who played it?
I haven't plucked up the courage to open the box.
Needs to be played, Neil.
Indeed, he does. Yes, if only once, just to kind of I must admit we did miss out on that, on playing that this week, but there we go. And then I bought some paints, bought more paint. Shocking indeed, horror. Comes from spending too much time in hobbycraft. And anything else? Was that about it? I had a Kickstarter turn up. No, 2 Kickstarters turned up. I do apologise. We had fourth quarter football has turned up just before Christmas, which is great. And then American football board game time. Did you back it?
I hovered over the button for a long time. And I didn't in the end because I figured I'd never get to play it.
I shall have to bring it along sometime, mate.
Yeah. Definitely. It looks really interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, we have been out. We're going into another section of the podcast, but we have been having some interesting things, interesting games with it. But yes, so that turned up, and then the Honor Begeisha Kickstarter for the Annie ran, that turned up into the new year, start of the week. That turned up, and in typical Annie style, I think she's taken the theme of cherry blossom to a bit of an extreme when it comes to packaging.
There's a lot of pink stuff.
Yes, as I tweeted at the time, you kind of open the box and are hit in the face by bright pink bright pink kind of like shredded taffeta paper or whatever it is they use for packing. So that's a few more Honor Begeisha, and I think that's about it.
Cool. I
think that's about it. Yeah, as I say, several pots of paint, because I've been getting into getting some more some of the more Games Workshop base paints actually.
Yeah, they're quite good.
Yeah, quite like them. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, thanks to Matt for putting me onto those. But yeah, that's it. How about you, Mr. Hobbs? What have you been up to?
Well, for Crimbo, I did get a copy of the Cruel Seas starter set from my dear wife, which obviously in time-honoured fashion I haven't really looked at yet. So got that, and for everybody else, I just asked for money or for vouchers for Amazon, and I spent the whole lot on a very new and very fancy desk lamp for my painting desk.
Oh yes, that does look nice.
There's a lot of light comes off that lamp. It's big, and there's no shadows, and I can see stuff. It's amazing. So
does it alter the way you paint, or has it altered the way you paint, or is it just all of a sudden it's like, oh wow?
A little bit, because my old lamp was quite good, but it had quite a directional light on it, so I had to hold the figures quite close to the light to actually paint them. So I was painting quite close to me. So yeah, you can't beat a good lamp. That's what I say now. And there's so much light. It's in fact, Jeff from the Wonder. Hello, Jeff from the Wonder. He did turn around.
Hello, Jeff from the Wonder.
Yes, he did say it looks like a sun lamp salon, which obviously brought in a few comments and jokes. So yeah, but yeah, it is good.
I couldn't. I couldn't. Yeah, I don't think I could possibly comment without getting into a lawful lot of trouble.
So that was Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So January. What did January bring? Well, January first of all bought the Firestorm January sale. So, which is still running. So I picked up a copy of the Forgotten Age expansion for Arkham Horror. That was
for the card game.
The card game. That was reduced, and a supplement for Paranoia RPG, which I do want to run sometime this year, and a very nice bestiary for another RPG called the Toonvag Chronicles. So yeah, I took advantage of that sale. I might take advantage of the sale again later. I picked up some decals for Bag the Hun. You know, in the last podcast when I said that my favourite hobby accessory was the Arkham Horror and the Lord of the Rings antique storage boxes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I noticed that they've stopped doing them, and they've only got limited stock. So I bought another Arkham Horror one just in case I need it.
Just in case.
Yeah. And that's about it. Oh, I bought a copy of the Battle Group rules, and yeah, that's about it. But I haven't bought any figures. 7 days in now, Neil, and I bought no figures.
I don't know whether that's impressive or letting the side down.
In fact, 9 days in, and I haven't bought any figures. It's a new record for me. I'm not getting twitchy.
I was gonna say, hey Ty, how long do you think it will be before he goes all cold turkey? Yeah.
I don't think it's going to last till the end of this podcast.
No, I'm fine. There's nothing I need this week. I'm fine.
Oh, something I left on my list, I just remembered, is I picked up the Rush Hour faction for Carnivale.
For what, sorry?
Carnival.
Oh, Carnival.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the new Carnivale. Yeah. Ooh.
Off at Mr. Slade's booth at Crusade and picked those up.
Yes, I must admit I've been looking at a couple of the extra factions because I went for the 2-player box set, and which comes with I think is it the Guild and the Russia and anyway I quite fancy the Strigoi and what is it anyway, definitely one or two more factions are definitely beckoning because they are rather nice. Although I must admit that's another game where I haven't quite got as far as opening the rulebook yet. Despite the fact it's a very nice and much bigger than I expected rulebook.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, a lot of them are there's a lot of sort of background stuff. All rules aren't that complex. A bit like the old squad leader, there's modular learning. So the first scenario is how to move and run up and down a bit. And then the next scenario is a bit of attacking. And then the next scenario introduces magic. It's a nice phased way to get into it as well.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So any temptations, anybody? Anything that's out there on the radar that we're thinking of picking up?
I'm trying to avoid stuff at the moment. Mind you, I was doing well, thinking that I wasn't going to, that I wouldn't actually be thinking about backing any Kickstarters this year at all until I saw the latest update from All or Nothing. The guys who did who've done Gloom of Killforth and 1066, and Tristan was going on about the games that they're producing this year, which I'd forgotten about. So, for example, there's another expansion for Gloom of Killforth being launched on Kickstarter in end of February. And immediately I kind of went, oh.
That was the one that was in the current Kickstarter, wasn't it?
It was in the current Kickstarter. Yeah. You could back it early, but it's actually being launched at the end of February. But apparently they're already well on the way with the artwork on that. So apparently that's doing quite well. And then they announced that they're doing a kind of, for want of a better phrase, it's a sequel to 1066, or it's a game that uses similar mechanics.
This is the Siege of Malta one, isn't it?
Siege of Malta one, which immediately heard Siege of Malta, I thought, oh, that might be something you're interested in, Mr. Hobbs.
Well, yeah, we discussed this a few podcasts ago.
We did. We did indeed, but they've definitely, but they have, for they said, right, okay, we are launching this. I think it's at the end of the summer. It's due to be launched,
sure.
And they got a YouTube video. All or Nothing Productions have got a YouTube video, but about 20 odd minutes when they're talking about everything that they're got in planned for the next 12 months. And immediately I heard that, kind of went, oh, my heart sunk. And then you got things like Conqueror Miniatures are doing more miniatures for their dwarves. They've now got light cavalry mounted on shaggy ponies. So that so at the moment my wish list for Conqueror Miniatures is growing. I do need to bite the bullet for that at some point. And then the only other thing that's on my radar is actually not actually something new, but something old. In the fact of, as you may hear in the next section, I'm revisiting Normans, and I'm suddenly getting the urge. I've been looking at a lot of Norman figures, from different manufacturers. But it has to be said, my favourites are still the Crusader ones. Yeah, the ones that I previously bought and then sold again.
That's the ones, yeah.
That's the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now looking at them again. Looking at all the Crusader foot troops. I mean, whether or not I give the plastic foot troops from Conquest a go, but I mean they're okay. But compare that to nice chunky metal Norman infantry. That's what's kind of on my radar at the moment.
Yeah. Sure. How about you, Ty? Anything you spotted?
No, nothing's really shouting at me, buying me, or giving me an itch at the moment. But I may end up getting a Middle Imperial Roman army for me in 8 units to complement my Sassanians 28 mil. That's probably the next thing on my radar.
Every wargaming needs to have a Roman army.
Yeah.
It is the law.
I'm trying to avoid. I've always picked opponents to Romans because everybody's got a Roman army. I may have to bite the bullet on this one.
Yeah. Very good. The only thing I've seen is there's a new campaign book coming out for Et San Resultat, which is Didn't Dare Do Anything, which is more stuff in Russia. So it's 1812 in Russia, but it's covering all of the battles on the flanks. So it's not looking at the main push through the Napoleon did, but all of the stuff on the sides. So that looked interesting.
Have you booked a game for that yet?
Sorry?
Have you managed to contact Andy and book a game yet?
No, I'm trying to get hold of him. Hopefully I can grab him, otherwise I'll have to pin somebody else down who wants to play.
He's mad keen.
Yeah, good. Just need to find time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keen to play that. So, yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Excellent stuff. This ends our confessions, so I think it's about time we had another break, and when we come back, we'll be chatting about what we've been up to, what we've been gaming, what have we been doing in the hobby for the last few weeks. Hi everyone, Neil here. I hope you enjoy this episode of the Meeples and Miniatures podcast. If you are, I'm wondering, would you consider becoming a patron of the show? For as little as $1 a month, you can help support us in what we're doing with the show. For that, you can get access to a monthly question and answer show. That will also allow you to ask questions. If you pledge more, you potentially get bonus podcasts. And you never know, you might even get invited to be on the show yourself. If you want to know more details, please follow the link to our Patreon page, which is on the front of the website. That's www.meeplesandminiatures.co.uk. Thanks a lot. Okay, so what have we been up to since we last met? Right. Shall I go first on this one? And I'll try and be quick, and then everybody can catch up. Right. Loads of games played. Loads of games played over Christmas. We've been playing lots of different bits and pieces actually. The aforementioned fourth quarter football. Obviously, since it turned up, myself and Josh managed to have got in a few games of that. The biggest game we played lots of actually since it arrived, because I actually bought it Josh for a Christmas present, is Codenames, which is
Is that a card game?
It's actually deemed to be a party game, which is it's the number one party game on Board Game Geek. Really cracking little game. I mean, the theme is you're trying to make contact with your spies. Okay, you're the spy. It's a team game. So you divide into two teams, and you're trying to make contact with each spies. Actually, it's a word association game.
Right.
It's a word association game. You have a grid of words, okay, nouns, okay, and you have to give clues, which so people can guess what words relate to the agents that you're trying to find.
Oh, I played this.
Have you?
Yeah, I played it at the expo.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, cracking game. Cracking. Really enjoyed it. Played it lots. Played it lots and lots over Christmas. Yeah. No, it's really good. So played a lot of that. And then lots of little bits and pieces. We played, played a one-shot for Arkham Horror, which, funny enough, is called, it's the, have you got Carnival of Horrors? Mike, have you got the Carnival of Horrors pack?
I might have.
It's a one-shot, it's a one-shot scenario, funny enough, set in Venice.
Ah.
Oh wow, that is so hard. That is so hard. Oh yeah. Got a game of that in. We played a couple of games of Escape the Dark Castle, because, funny enough, Mr. Hickman had his Kickstarter for Escape the Dark Castle turn up. So we had a couple of games of that the other night. Tiny Epic Zombies. You know, the Tiny Epic games? You guys played any of the Tiny Epic games at all?
Yeah, I've got Tiny Epic Galaxies.
Yeah.
Great fun.
Yeah, it is great. The latest iteration, that Mr. Hickman owns is Tiny Epic Zombies. So yes, it is, defending a shopping mall from the invading zombie horde. But the whole point with Tiny Epic games is that, they come in small boxes and they can be set up, in a really small space. That was quite fun. And then we got a game of the Battle of Britain just in the start of the year. We played another game of, that which is the PSC version of the old TSR game, Battle of Britain. And remembered just what a good game it was, and then shocked ourselves by realising that it had been 11 months since we last played the game. Because we last played it in February last year, and we kind of went, how come it's taken us 11 months to play this game again? It's a really good game, we really enjoy it. Yeah. But I mean, and it's not, and of course it's a great game because not only are you enjoying playing a tabletop game, over the Battle of Britain, but you're doing so while making all the quotes from the film at the same time.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which is which I think we decided is an absolute must. You start playing the game and it takes about 30 seconds before somebody comes out with, you can teach monkeys to fly better than that, etc., etc., etc. Yes. Okay, so that's what we're up to. Lots and lots of games. Something crazy like about 15 games played over Christmas and New Year.
Jesus.
That's a good effort.
Thought I'd start as a mean to go on, mate.
How about you, Ty?
Me, pretty quiet compared to that. I finally got Seventh Continent up the shrink wrap.
Hooray!
Got that on the table. So, I've failed several times already. So I've given up on Victor Frankenstein and I've gone with another character now. Seems to be having slightly more success. So.
Yeah, stick on to the basic ones.
Yeah, I'm doing that for Gracious Goddess. But I just love the way that you can just save the game.
Mm.
That's an absolute genius bit of...
Are you playing that solo?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I'll open it up once I've sort of learned the rules well enough to teach someone else. I'll open it up as a campaign later on in the year. Guys and with. I'll just learning it and enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah. What have we played? Quartermaster General? Have you played that?
No, I was one of the Hammy-its, who is one of the owners of Battlefield Hobbies. That's one of his all-time favourite games, and I think they had a gaming day on just after Christmas called Bar Humbug.
Yeah.
So basically, they opened the shop for gaming for 12 hours. And they were playing it there, and it's his favourite game, and he was, and we were chatting a lot about it. And well, not only Quartermaster General, but all its, its derivatives, the 1914 and the Cold War version, and the Peloponnesian War and that one.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah, it's a great little game, especially again if you can get 6 players in. As opposed to having someone playing.
Yeah, I reckon it's a case of if you're going to play it, it said first and foremost try and get 6 people, or failing that, just play it with 2.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that was great. But I was rushing, got knocked out quite early. It was a long struggle to come back into it. And we just run out of time. The Axis won it twice. So, disappointing. And then we played Black Orchestra from the Kill Hitler. That's a game we really liked.
I've not come across that one. Black Orchestra.
Yeah. You're basically playing a group of historical individuals trying to assassinate Hitler.
Okay.
So what the game sort of breaks down into 7 phases, which are sort of 7 parts of the war. Each phase has got like an events deck. At the end of every turn, you've got like random events will move Hitler and Himmler and Goebbels around the board and stuff. So you've got to try and you pull a plot card, and it might be requirements hyphen civilian. So if I had poison and intel of Hitler in Berlin, I could roll a number of dice looking for a number of successes equal to Hitler's military value at the time.
Yeah.
And if you get the required amount, you've killed him and you've won. If you roll more German eagles, there's only 1 in 6 chance dice for doing it. If you roll more eagles, then you get assassination hits. You've been discovered and arrested. The rest of the time, and then once you've gone to Gestapo HQ, you draw a card on the turn, and it gives you 3 options, and it'll be sort of things like sort of hang tough, take a couple of penalties, but don't grass your mates up, or grass your mates up. They all get more profile, so they're easier to spot during the game. Then you get out and crossing up. But that's a decision you make in secret. It's really clever game. So Google it later. You really enjoy it. You really enjoy it.
Black Orchestra. Right. Is that a fairly recent game?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
That'll be 2016.
Quick on the draw, Mr. Hobbs. Right, okay, cool. I'll start to have a look. That sounds interesting.
That was me for Christmas.
Cool. Done anything since?
At the moment, all I'm doing is checking army lists for my To the Strongest tournament, the 19th of January. That's eating up a lot of my time.
Perfectly understandable. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. How about you, Mr. Hobbs?
Well, I've only got one game in.
Really?
Christmas. Yeah. Which is met up with Jeff and Jeff. Hello, Jeff and Jeff. Up at the Eagle's Nest. And we had a game of Iron Bean Shotman.
Oh, right, okay.
Is I must admit, out of all the Lardy's games, it's the one I never got on with. I always found it a little bit too chaotic. I don't know whether I've mellowed or I've learned over the last few years, Neil, but I really enjoyed it. It was a great game. I mean, Jeff umpired it, and I played against Jeff. I won't tell you which one, but yeah, I lost badly, but we had a great game. Really good fun. So, yeah, I really want to play it again. So, and if Mr. Whittaker was here, I would quite happily say that he told me so, and I should have listened. Because
I
yeah,
think the trick with Iron Bean Shotman is you have to have an umpire. It's not a game
yeah,
where chain of command from two sides of the table and we take a side, you need an umpire.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Jeff was a good umpire. He only got a few of the rules wrong, and yeah, it was just fun. Really interesting to play. So yeah, we'll play it again. Hello, I have been involved in a bit of a time sink because I downloaded. Well, Steam had a sale on, and in the sale they had the complete Baldur's Gate collection.
Oh, right, okay.
For like 30 quid.
Oh, yeah.
So this was like Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, a new game which sits in the middle, plus a load of other stuff. So I've been playing Baldur's Gate over the last couple of weeks again. And really enjoying it.
Funnily enough, I mentioned that I got this, for some strange coincidence with getting Mansions of Madness, I've got a new tablet. I don't know how that happened.
No.
No. But one of the things, one of the fringe benefits of that is that it's big enough to, because there's a tablet version of Baldur's Gate.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I got that. I bought it, but I don't know. I think I texted you some kind of. I still can't work out some of the interface because I'm currently struggling on the spellcasting interface and basically how that works. Once I've got that down, then I think I'll be all right. But it's on my radar. It's definitely something that I want to, because. As you say, it's a
classic.
It is an absolute classic. It is an absolute classic. And so it's yes, but all right. So how far have you got into it then?
I'm on chapter 3. I've been taking it slow. I have been cheating a little bit because there is some excellent walkthroughs which tell you where all the stuff is, and I have been sort of following through that. Just because I really can't be bothered searching for every single piece of every single map. I just want to say, right, in this map is this. And I've got to go and find it, which is cheating, but not really cheating. Yeah, I just enjoyed it. I just log on for half hour or so, play a little bit, explore the map, kill some zombies, and away we go. Great fun.
Excellent.
That's about it really. I've done a bit of painting.
Yeah, done much?
I painted a couple of Cruel Sea boats. I got Wargames Illustrated, which came with two ships.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
So I put them together and painted them.
Couple of Vospers, weren't they?
A couple of Vospers. Yeah, nice. I painted some Lord of the Rings stuff. Just in the middle, painting some 6mm Glenarvan, and I've done some 2mm Russians. That's about it, really.
All right. Cool. How about you, Ty? You been painting anything?
Just before Christmas, I finished another unit for my Sasanian army. I painted up a squad of 25mm British World War II infantry, which may or may not see the table on Sunday at Firestorm.
Ooh. That'd be good. Well, yeah, we got a big game on Sunday at Firestorm.
We have.
Have you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Big chain of command game that Jeff's putting on. Yeah. Come down if you want, if you're bored. It's only 200 miles away.
It's not far. Yeah.
I got. No, we need to do this properly, Neil. No.
Yeah.
Everybody, stand up, Ty.
Yeah.
If you can. Yeah, stand up. Right.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
What?
Because Neil, you posted on Twitter earlier that you finished some of your Normans.
Well, I haven't fully finished them because they're not based. So they're not finished because I haven't done the base yet.
Sit down, Ty.
Fair enough.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I decided that the new year I'll have another go. I'll have another go at Hobby Streak. Which people don't know about. It's you tweet hashtag Hobby Streak, and the idea is to do some hobby every day. So I'm trying to do 30 minutes at least 30 minutes painting a day. And I've picked up the Normans again, because after we had that brilliant painting day at Mr. Slade's the other week, they then sat doing nothing for 3 weeks. And it's like, I'm sat looking at them and kind of going, I need to get them done before I do anything else.
Yes, you do.
Because they have become the monkey on my back. So yes, I have been, it was a case of I've been, the ones I hadn't touched, I basically brought everything up to the same level, and then I'm basically finishing off a unit at a time.
Good.
Lots of advice. I mean, lots of advice and encouragement from people all over Twitter. Thank you so much, guys. That has been great. But yes, I am getting there. The Norman cavalry are slowly getting finished. So yeah, I'm basically at the point where, okay, I'm on the second unit. So it's a second lot of 8 out of 32. And then I'll get them all done, and then I'll base them all at the same time. But we're getting there. We are getting there, definitely. The progress is being made, and more paint is being bought in the meantime. But yes, so achievement, painting achievement.
Yeah, well done, mate.
At the start of the year, so we're getting there.
Yeah,
cool. Right. Okay then. So I think that's that's everything we've been up to. So we'll take another quick break, and after we come back, it's time to chat about organising a gaming show. And once again, we interrupt the show for a report from our South Wales reporter on the latest happening at Firestorm Games. Come in, Michael.
Neil, you join me here as I look upon a vista of calm. It's hard to believe that only a few weeks ago, the anti-luff was finally brought to justice after a week-long orgy of purchasing. I understand that the brave souls of Firestorm Games finally overpowered him after distracting him with a turkey sandwich, and have now locked him away in the bowels of the building where he can do no harm.
Oh my word. So was there much damage to the shop?
There was some, but the building is still standing, and over the last week, teams of volunteers have been rebuilding the shop and installing the latest anti-luff defences. This can never happen again.
That is indeed great news. So Mike, do you have anything else to report?
Funny you should ask that, Neil. To celebrate the overthrow of the anti-luff, the management of Firestorm have decided to hold a January sale, with some items reduced by 80%.
I'm sorry, did you say 80%?
That's right, Neil. There are savings across 140 different lines, so nearly everyone can find a bargain. And what's more, we have a new offer code that's going to run until the end of February. That adds another 5% off all purchases.
Oh, so what's the new offer code, Mike?
Hang on, Neil. Have to interrupt you there. I've just heard a loud crash from downstairs. Neil, something's happening. The whole building is shaking. Oh, God, something is emerging from the cellar. It's short and it smells of turkey.
Don't worry about that. What's the new offer code, Mike?
Oh, no, it's the anti-love. Some idiot has told him the offer code, Neil, and he's broken loose again. Neil, this might be my last report. I just can't see me getting out of here in one piece. Neil,
Mike! What's the offer code? What's the offer code? Apologies, listener. We appear to have lost the line to our South Wales reporter. What's this? It's a text from Mike. He's got the offer code. What a hero. He's come through for us all. If you visit Firestorm Games, either online at firestormgames.co.uk or in their shop, you can use the code NEWMEEPLE, that's NEWMEEPLE, all lowercase, in order to gain an extra 5% discount on all goods. Remember, Firestorm Games gives free worldwide shipping at over £40. Some exclusions may apply. See website for details. So happy shopping at Firestorm Games, but watch out for the anti-luff. Okay, and we're back, and we're still with Ty Callaghan-Jones, and so it's that time of the show where we are chatting to Ty about the forthcoming, almost imminent when you hear this, wargaming event that is Crusade.
Yes, so Ty.
Yeah.
First of all, I suppose we need to know a bit about what your sort of role is in the organising of it, or what you're doing for it, because you're part of the club, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, I'm on sort of the show subcommittee for the Penarthur District Wargames Club. It's a show that we started back in 1995, unbelievably. We sort of sat there one day and said, "Oh, wouldn't it be great to have a show in Wales?" Because one didn't exist at that point. I mean. We did a costing exercise and looked at it, and I think we had, if the show had failed and no one had turned up, we could have written the cost of the show off and left about 50 quid in the bank. So we thought, well, it won't sink the club, it'll hurt us, but we'll have a go at it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a great success, and it's grown year on year on year. It's now firmly on the calendar as the last Saturday in January. And originally it was planned for that, because what we would then do is go down for the Super Bowl to a friend's in Southampton on Sunday. So it was a great weekend for them.
And then they went and moved the Super Bowl.
It did, yes. It was one debate, did we move the date of the show?
I like it.
But calm heads prevailed, and we said, look, we'll just leave it on its slot. So it doesn't matter what the date is, as long as it's the last Saturday in January. That's what you've got to say. That's fine.
Yeah. So with the show, I mean, what sort of stuff happens there? Because it's got a long running history. Obviously it's 23 years now. 23 years old. And as well as just sort of being a trader and sort of playing an event, you do have a bit of a reputation of having lots of sort of sub events there, and I think some of those have been going on for a while as well.
Yeah, we've got the Welsh Open DBA Championship, and Trevor Halsall does his Napoleonic Fast Play every year for us. So those are the two established long-running tournaments that we have. We're always looking to get other tournaments in. But it's getting people to run them, because we've also said because there's loads of club members who've always said, "Oh, we'll put a game on." I said, "Yeah, but if you're putting the game on, you then can't help with the show. When the show doesn't run unless we get the manpower to run the show." So we had to put a block on club members putting games on, essentially. Because anybody that's put a show on, it's all down to the goodwill of its membership giving up their time to help out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff being done in the background that you don't know about.
That's it, yeah, because we're going to be there now on the Friday night before. Some traders turn up the night before now, get unloaded, get set up, they go off to their B&B, and then they rock up and shows on. But then the rest of us turn sort of 6:30, 7 o'clock the morning of the show, which then opens its doors to the public at 10 o'clock. So there's just a lot of frantic activity. But one of the things that we wanted to do was do something different to encourage traders to come to the show for the very first one. And because it was in the Code and Leisure Centre, which you accessed via some very steep steps, we thought what we'll do, we'll help the traders in with their stuff. And that kind of became our USP for a long time. But again, we would also help them back out. It wasn't just a one-way sort of system. So traders could turn up with one or two personnel, if you like, with a full van of stuff, knowing that it would all be carried in, it would all be carried out. Then 3 years ago, I believe, we moved to a new venue, St. Cyrus School, which has got loads of parking. It's all flat, so the traders can now actually reverse up to the main entrance, drop stuff onto trolleys with wheels, and everything just get wheeled in. It's so much easier with this new venue. The only problem we encountered on the first year is because it's a split. It's like, because it's in the school, you've got a foyer where you walk in, and then you've got like a main hall and another wing. It's just getting the balance, which we think we've sorted out now. Because again, we're always canvassing traders at the end, saying, what can we improve? It's a continual thing. We just take that on board and then apply that to the following year.
So as well as the two tournaments, you also do lectures and stuff.
Yes, we've generally got 3 or 4 guest speakers. Adrian Goldsworthy, he's the guy. So he was being a club member and then quite a high-profile academic and authority on the Roman Empire. We kind of roped him in to do some talks, and then over the years, he's continued to do that, and he's brought in other friends to do it as well.
That's cool, and that's all part of the entrance fee, isn't it? You just sort of just go along. You don't have to book in or anything.
No. It's basically what you pay to get in. There's a timetable, and we've set aside a dedicated lecture room, and then they run throughout the day. Then
excellent stuff. Yeah, 'cause I did attend one of Adrian's lectures a couple of years ago, and it's really good. He really knows his stuff, and he makes you think about warfare and about what the troops are going through. So
I've never actually made one of his lectures because
it was working.
No, that's it. Because we split everybody into 4 shifts, and everybody gets one shift off. But I'm always working when he's lecturing, so we may need to video it so I can watch it back.
That'd be really good. All right. And then, of course, we have the famous Bring and Buy.
The famous Bring and Buy, yeah.
Yes.
And again, anybody who's running Bring and Buy knows the pain you can go through doing it. Because again, we're constantly looking at ways to make it more efficient for booking in, cashing out, everything else. So, yeah, it's on again this year. And it's going to be in the same place. Normally, in the school, we've moved it around, but this year, if you've went last year, it's in the same place as it was last year. So. But again, it's all going to be signposted.
Yeah. How long does it actually take to actually organise one of these things? Do you sort of start 6 months before, or is it sort of like a yearly thing that you've got like a timetable of what you need to do during the whole year on the run up of it?
Yeah, we've got it fairly down to a fine art now, where we've got a whole checklist. In fact, we had a meeting on Monday, funnily enough, which went into the small hours. We were just finalising floor plans, but yeah, there you go. So first thing, confirm the venue for next year, which is booked at the end of February. But then once we've got the venue done, nothing really kicks in until August, because again, you then start booking tables, and throughout the year, we contact the traders and people on demo games and said, "You're coming next year, you booked in." And then it's a continual process as we go to shows throughout the year. Then we sort of visit the traders, get their forms, go through that.
And you also have sort of demos and participation games there as well, don't you?
Yeah, again, we charge for traders tables. Anybody that does gaming wants to put a game on, demo game, the table's free. So again, it's to encourage people to put nice looking games on and promote the hobby that way as well. Again, we're quite well supported. There's clubs keep coming back every year that do that for us.
Yeah. And do you like to have sort of demo, or do you prefer sort of participation games? If you sort of think of Partisan, which is very much of a, Partisan it always has a reputation of having beautiful games played that you can look at and maybe get involved in. But then there's Hammerhead, which sort of goes the other way, which is going for the big participation games, isn't there, where everyone can get in and play stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we try and do a mix because, again, it's what you tend to find with participation games. They sort of pull people in, and people have a great time and play it. But then anybody walking past can't see what's going on because it's normally sort of covered in people playing the games. So we like to try and get a balance between participation and demo. Because again, as a club, when we've attended shows, we tend to do participation games because it's a great way of advertising the club as we go around the shows as well. But then some people with very expensive, nicely painted toys don't want members of the general public bouncing around the table. So
yeah,
it's sort of catering to the people that want to bring their collections along and show it off.
And do you find now that a lot of manufacturers are starting to put on their own games? Are they asking for sort of table space close to their store where they can sort of demo their games?
Yeah, a lot of them do ask for it, and we do encourage it as well, because again, it's a way of, it's getting a nice mix of traders and games going on. So rather than putting all the games in one area, which is completely detached from the trader that's selling the stuff, we try and get them right as close as we can. Again, they're normally sort of 6x4 tables or a bit smaller, where say they can show off what their latest products are and stuff.
What we've just noticed recently is a lot of manufacturers putting their own little demo games to show off their products, and as you were saying, that's something that you like to see in the club. Is there any sort of manufacturers you think of who sort of who are going to be doing that this year?
Games that we've got confirmed so far. Rich is coming down. He's going to do his Smoke on the Water, the Chain of Command Holland 1940 game.
Oh, that'll be good fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one they won the award for at Crisis, wasn't it?
And then we've got Major Brothers doing the French Indochina War, June 54. as part of Mobile Group 100.
Nice.
Skirmish Wargames have got a 54mm bulk action game.
That'll be fun.
I think, there we go. Wessex Wargames are coming up with 50mm Battle of Omdurman. A bit of variety.
Battle of Omdurman? What's that?
I think that's where, wasn't that the one Corporal Jones was at from Dad's Army in the Omdurman?
Possibly. That'll be interesting. Only have a little butcher's van in the corner.
Yeah, and there's a new, the Ministry of Gentlemanly Warfare are putting on a participation fantasy skirmish game as well.
Oh, Craig will be there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool for Fudham Blunder.
Yes.
Excellent stuff. Sounds great stuff. And of course, alongside that, we've got the usual traders and so forth. So plenty of chance to spend some money.
Yeah, and I think Sarissa are there this year with us as well.
So how many traders do you normally get at the show?
I think it's about 40. I'm trying to get this for you.
Oh well, fairly sizable then.
Yeah, it's normally a good selection. I mean, Blots are normally there.
Yeah.
I do know that Mehagames is going to be there for all your role-playing stuff. That'll be cool.
Yeah, we've got the Square, Sergeant's Mess, Charlie Foxtrot. Yeah, Bonome's there, Blots.
Oh, early war miniatures will be there. Yeah. I shall be wondering. Yes, I shall.
Yeah, we've got 36 confirmed with a couple that we're still chasing up.
Oh, Tiny Wargames is going to be there. Battle Mats. Oh dear.
Yeah, Tumbling Dice.
Oh, Tumbling Dice. Oh God.
Oh yeah, since you've been converted to Back the Hunt, Tumbling Dice are now yes. I mean the fact that I think Tumbling Dice must be one of the manufacturers who are basically at every single show in the year.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think they just do everything, don't they? Pretty much. But it's I mean
some great,
very dangerous.
Good
very, very dangerous indeed.
And Firestone Games will be there as well.
Firestone Games are going to be there, of course.
Yes. And Great Escape. You can go see Stu at a Great Escape.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. It is. Was it Romanians and is it Hungarians? Yeah. So, what sort of footfall do you get through? Because it's a 1 day show, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. Average is about 430 people.
It's not too bad though.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we've noticed that sometimes people say, "Oh, the show's a bit quiet," but we've noticed it with going around the circuit as well, and we're also as guilty of it as guests. In the old days, we'd get to a show as doors opened and left as doors closed. But these days we tend to go in, have a quick hit of shopping, and we're off.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Even though the numbers are about the same, they're not there for as long as they used to be.
Yeah.
Which is why we're trying to evolve the show and sort of get more role players involved and board games involved, so that you're giving the people attending more to look at, more diversity, as well as attracting a bigger audience as well.
Yeah, as I say, that is a general trend, isn't it? I mean, it always used to be the case that things tended to tail off. Like after, okay, so most people, when you run a show, you will usually run it between 10 and 4, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what you tend to find is that after 2 o'clock, especially, things start to kind of wind down a lot, to the point where you tend to see that by 3:30, people are starting to want to start to pack up to get ready for the off at 4 o'clock sort of thing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, by that time, shows are usually quiet enough that it doesn't really cause an issue. But as you say, it's that thing of actually, it would be nice to have more people attending the show for the entirety of the show. So as you say, it's that thing of, okay, so what do you have to do to keep people at the show?
Yeah, and it's looking at the hobby. Mike and I were talking about this a while back, about some people say that it's a greying hobby. You know, the average age of a wargamer goes up by 1 year every. But the gaming hobby itself is actually probably bigger and more vibrant now than it's ever been.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And you say it's you only have to look at what's happening at the expo. You know, the numbers they get through, and you know, people are all the time, all day. You know, often into the wee hours, playing games, and you know, events need to change to take that in. You know, need to attract in these new players. So
yeah, that's the challenge sort of going forward for, well, not just Crusade, but I think for all shows in the country next few years.
Yeah, and it's good the Crusaders sort of recognise that, and it'd be great to see how that influences, you know, what happens at the event. So, you know, getting more sort of board game traders in, more role playing traders in, getting, you know, space to play games. You know, there's a sort of strong argument for having like a little wargames cafe set up where you can just, you know, have a coffee and grab a game and go and play it for a couple of hours.
Yeah, well, that's something that we almost organised last year and just let down at the very last minute. But it is something almost like a lending library. We have, because we've got enough space to be able to do things like that. So maybe that's something we can look at for next year.
Funnily enough, that was something that was tried at Shuck on Derby this year. I don't know how many people actually took them up on the idea, but yeah, that was something they definitely did because, like you, again, I mean, I suppose they held it in a school, and yeah, I say it has that same problem that one hall in the school isn't quite big enough to hold all the traders, say, or all the games, so you have to split it over, you know, effectively 2 different venues in the same location. And then at the same time, they then had a separate kind of cafe area, and they'd set up this little, board game library there. As I say, I don't know if anybody actually took it, you know, actually did it on the day. But again, I suppose it's part of the evolving hobby, and it's part of, you know, I mean, and of course there's always this thing of, you know, try before you buy sort of thing, which has been, it's very much kind of a, well, I mean, to be fair, you know, that's the whole reason for, you know, demo game, or that's one of the reasons for demo games in the first place, and it's certainly one of the reasons why, more and more manufacturers are putting games on, because it seems that these days, you know, especially with the amount of games out there, people are very keen to try games before they take the plunge. So if you can provide that sort of environment, then all the better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a good way to go ahead. So it'd be good to see that evolve.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're sort of working on the background for that. You say that this is the kind of discussion that we'd be having sort of, well, first of all, we generally go to the pub and have a post-show debrief at the end of it and then we have a formal debrief meeting. So again, what went well, what didn't work, what could we improve, and we then look at all the feedback from the traders, and we tend to put a questionnaire every couple of years in the show program for the general public to fill in.
Yeah.
Because we see it from one viewpoint, but then again, you're always going to be biased to your own show. So to get an independent viewpoint of it is a nice way of actually gauging what you're doing right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the more you talk to your customers, the more you'll get back of it.
Yeah.
As long as you're sort of showing that you're listening to them. I think that's the thing. So how many people in the club actually help on the day?
This year we've got about 34. Last year we were up to 43. So anything 30 plus, and we know the show can go ahead in the format that we want to run it.
Yeah, and that might shock a lot of people. I think the amount of manpower you need to actually run what is a 1-day event.
Yeah, it's what we try and do is we split it into 4 teams. So you'll have one sort of door team who'll then take the money coming in, issue the wristbands, which is what you use for ID, and maybe look after the club stand and sort of talk to the public about the club. 2 of the teams are always on the bring and buy, and then the other team is off, and we just rotate that then every couple of hours throughout the day, so club members get to actually see the show that their show and spend a bit of money, and then everybody does a stint on each of the functions that we need. And then there's the carrying in at the start and the carrying out at the end as well.
Followed by the curry.
Followed by the curry and the beers, yeah. which Mr. Clark's participated in the last few years.
He has, yes. Although, not last year, because sorry, the year before, because we sort of snuck him away from you, and I do remember getting a very irate phone call from Glyn, the chair. They were going, "What have you done with Richard? You've nicked him. You've nicked our Clarky."
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can tell that Richard's never summed it either in his year.
Yes.
As I say, I almost hate to ask what you did with him, but perhaps that's another thing of what happens at Crusade stays at Crusade.
I'm quite happy to say we actually went for a steak because it was Jeff's 50th, so we treated
right,
Jeff to a steak. And I think Jeff also got a whole pot of béarnaise sauce poured over his left arm. Happy 50th. Hi, Jeff.
What was that? Was that somebody who was extra hungry? Yes.
Wouldn't be so bad if it was my béarnaise sauce.
Oh.
But yes. It is always a good event. I must admit, I've gone to Crusade for years. I've run games there. I used to be part of the club. But somehow I always got away with not actually taking part and helping out. I was always willing to get demo games for a group in Beast. So, but yeah, it's a great event, and anybody who's in sort of South Wales or around that area, get over to the show. The new venue's brilliant. There's so much parking there. It's nice, it's light, great games, great traders. And who knows, you might get to meet Ty.
You never know if you're unlucky.
Yeah.
Or just to let you know as well, we're again supporting Step Change this year. Because every year we sort of support a charity, and initially it was Blesma, and then you'll remember, Mike, when the Blesma sort of helpers turned up one year with a whole table of baked cakes, biscuits, and when they first approached us about doing that, we were sort of, well, sort of pensioners with home baking at a war game show. We're not really sure, but it was a massive, massive hit.
It was a superb. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I spent a fortune there.
And then about a few years ago, Blaresmouth for some reason closed down its sort of South Wales office. So we made a final sort of charity donation to them. And then we were looking for a new charity support. And Step Change was the one that got put forward. So again, they'll have a stand there telling people what they do and how they can help as well.
So who are Step Change? I haven't heard of. I think I was chatting to the guys last year about it. You know, for those who don't know, Step Change, it's a charity to support veterans in Wales. So it's sort of looking at sort of mental health issues that veterans face, and it sort of does peer mentoring for veterans. It's does liaison between prisons, local authorities and stuff to help and support veterans, and it just basically gives support for some of the older veterans out there trying to tackle, you know, what's going on in their lives. So it's really interesting little charity. It's well worth supporting, and you know it's a Welsh charity helping out veterans in Wales. So yeah, a great one to support.
Excellent stuff. So as I say, we say it's on the last weekend in January. How much is it to attend the show?
I think we've left at £4 for adults and children at £1.
Cool. And do you have a website where people can find out more details?
You can, and I'll send you the link, and you can put us in the show notes for us. That would be great. But it's www.penarthwargames.co.uk/crusade.
Excellent stuff.
Yes. And I'll be there.
Yeah, you can meet the War Games celebrity.
I'll probably be hanging around the Two Fat Lardies table, or buying stuff. Yeah. See if you can find me. See if you can stop me from buying things.
No, well, find you is one thing. Stopping you from buying stuff is a whole other issue.
Yeah, that is true.
Cool. So that is an insight into a little bit of running a war game show in the UK. However, there is something else that we wanted to chat with Ty about. A few weeks ago, I was chatting with Mr. Hobbs. I think it was on via one of our several text messages that we exchanged during the week, and he mentioned something about this strange phenomenon called Megagaming. And had I ever heard of it? I was like, what on earth are you going on about? And then, and apparently this has all been, this is actually all down to you, Ty. For some strange reason, within a few days, I'd watched a video, and apparently we're on a team together. Can you kind of explain what on earth I've let myself in for?
Yeah. If anybody has ever played XCOM,
see, that was it. See, that was the thing. It's like remember you had me at Hello. You had me at XCOM. As soon as you said, it's like a live action version of XCOM, it was like, I'm there. Sorry, carry on.
So essentially what you've got, you'll have, there's a team of aliens or the alien players, I should say, who are generally in a separate room or behind the curtain or whatever, so you have no access to those. Then all the players are in teams, and you're either in sort of teams of 3 as a corporation, or you're in sort of teams of 4, maybe 5, as world nations. And what you have to ascertain is, are the aliens friendly or hostile? And can you trade with them, or do you need to fight them?
Yeah.
And then what tends to happen, because everybody likes to shoot things, a UFO will appear in the skies, someone will end up shooting it down, everybody descends on the wreckage to try and sort of harvest alien tech to advance civilization. Then you'll have some teams trying to contact the aliens and make friends and do deals, and it's absolute mayhem.
Yeah, so this is a great big game with about 60 players. It takes place in a sort of hall or old school or something. So, yeah, as Ty says, players are nations or corporations, and stuff happens. It's politics.
So it basically sounds like a team game version of diplomacy.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? With a slight, it's diplomacy with an XCOM theme.
Yeah, and
Ish.
What's really interesting is in each of the nations or the corporations, each player has a role. So, like for the nations, you get the head of state, you get a foreign affairs representative, you get a military representative, you get a science representative, and then they'll have in the middle of the big room will be like the war map, here where spottings of aliens might be shown, but only the military representative for each country can go there and make choices of what happens during a game turn. There'll be another area which is like the like CERN. It's a big scientific community where only the science representative can go, and then you got the UN for the foreign affairs. So each of the players is basically going off to their own areas, talking to other players about what's going on, and trying to feed that back to the head of state, who's trying to coordinate things like the budgets and how much money goes towards the military or to research, and of course, and on top of that, you then there's media. So there's a newspaper that comes out every turn. So there's newspaper reporters there, which is a completely independent team. They're trying to find a scoop of what's going on. So you can imagine what it's like. It's proper sort of, Chinese whispers and misinformation and backstabbing and all sorts of wonderful things. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a Watch the Skies before, but I've done several other themed ones in the past, and game starts at 9 o'clock, and it just stops at 5 o'clock, and there's no break. Yeah.
What?
If you want to go for a pee or you go to have lunch, that's fine, but the game isn't stopping. It's evolving and moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hang on, no one said that.
Yeah. Yes. Where's that head of production? Oh, he's gone for a lie down.
He's on second breakfast. What? Hang on a minute. What?
But if you watch any of the videos of these Mehagames, all you see is everybody's wandering around. There's biscuits and cake and crisps all over the place, and people just grabbing sandwiches to eat. It looks great. So we're going to be a corporation, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah. So Ty, you're our CEO.
Yeah. Then you're going to be head of research.
I'm going to be head of research, which makes Neil head of production. Yes.
Head of production. Excellent. I haven't got a clue what I'm meant to be doing.
We'll give the listeners an idea. So corporations. A few of the teams represent larger international scale corporations. These teams will be researching and manufacturing products and services they can sell to nation teams. Corporation teams will be focused on maximizing profit and keeping their share price as high as possible. Each corporation team has 3 roles. CEO, that's Ty. The CEO leads and coordinates the team. They will also be talking to various other teams to make deals and sell their corporation's products. Head of production, Mr. Shuck. This player will be keeping track of what the corporation is producing, ensuring products are manufactured on time, and staying on the lookout for new goods to sell. They will also be assisting the CEO in talking with other teams and making important sales. And then there's me, head of research. This player will be researching new products that develop and liaising with nations about scientific progress. This is going to be fun. Yeah.
And probably the hardest working team there, apart from the umpires, are going to be the news media team. Because the game is structured that there are set turns. That there's the 9 o'clock turn, the 10 o'clock turn, and it always is relentless. And the guys at news media regularly bring out news bulletins, hard copy news bulletins, and recently they've started using sort of Twitter feeds and everything else and Facebook pages, and they're putting stories out via those mediums as well. So you could be sitting there, and then a newsletter will come around, breaking news, something complete left field to what you're doing. Another corporation or another nation has developed some kind of ray gun from somewhere somehow. And so you learn about stuff that's going on in the game, whether it's true or not. And some of the media aligns. We've got this shiny new product. Come and buy it off us. Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Yeah.
It's all right. I'm listening to this in fascinated, stunned silence, thinking, "What on earth am I just let myself in for?"
For you to produce. Neil, stop what you're making. We need a smaller, cheaper. And then, of course, there's the alien thing, and you don't really know what the aliens are up to.
No. You say that's what some people will be trying to work out what the alien agenda is. Are they benefactors come to share technology and promote world peace, or something else?
Or I'll be in a real life XCOM or episode of V or something. Yes.
Yeah. Is one of us an alien?
It's possible.
No, it depends if you suddenly become left-handed.
I think there was one game, I don't know if it was the one that the guys have got the video of, where the Pope got taken off in a spaceship somewhere.
Oh, God, take it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. There's a Pope. Oh, yeah. I love this.
I think he wanted proof that aliens existed, so they sort of kidnapped him. Give him a tour of the moon base or something.
Oh, can we have Nazis on the moon? I want Nazis on the moon.
I'm sure if we got some corporate uniforms made up.
Oh no. If only we knew somebody who did clothing manufacturing.
If only. Debs, if you're listening, we'll be in touch. So, for anyone who's intrigued by this, we're playing in. There's a site called Southwest Mehagames, so it's swmegagames.co.uk. And we're playing in the Cardiff Watch the Skies game, which takes place on the 9th of March this year. And there are tickets available. The tickets are dirt cheap. If you've been to one before, I think it's £25, isn't it? If you a new Mega Gamer, or you invite somebody to take part in that game, it goes down to £15.
Yeah.
And that's for all day. Bingo and biscuits.
Yeah, it's about 6 hours play. So 9:30 for a 10 o'clock start. And then finishes about 4:30 with a debrief until about 5:30.
And into the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like I don't know. I mean, as you say, there is one side of me that is massively intrigued. There's another side of me that is incredibly intimidated by this. You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one thing. Yeah, it's one thing going in for a board gaming or an all-day gaming session. It's another thing when that session is just one game and you're actually role playing.
Yeah.
Well, effectively role playing in a mass game of diplomacy.
Sort of board game parts of it as well, because there's, you've got to balance your budgets and try and win that Nobel Prize that the researchers always been after, and I really want a Nobel Prize.
You really are fixating on that, aren't you? I can tell already.
It's a system that you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said to Mike earlier, you can sit there and watch it all going on around you and enjoy it for that. Or you can really get involved and actually influence the way the game evolves and develops and turns out in the end. And you can pick your engagement level.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, none of us are outgoing people. We'll probably just sit there quietly, trying to work diligently for mankind's well-being.
Yeah, drink tea, cake.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed. Yes, rather than just watch the skies, watch the podcast. We will be.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We will be coming back with an update on this. Oh yeah. So probably. Probably. It'll be the second episode in March, I imagine. After we've had a week to recover, I think. We will come back and give a full, and that's what that episode will be. It will be a full report on what on earth is, having experienced one. What on earth is a mega game and what it was like and whether we would recommend it to you. So that's a advert for a future show.
You could do is take part. Come along and take on the Meeples crew. Yes.
Oh, indeed. Yes. As you say, there are spaces still available. So
Make a Meeples Incorporated.
We will be. I can tell you, I haven't thought about this at all.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Right, okay. So I mean, we'll put links in the show notes. So if it's something that intrigues you, or interests you, then go check them out. And you never know, we might see you in March.
Be good to us.
Sorry, mate. If you can't make Cardiff on the 9th, there's a game in Bournemouth on the 23rd of March as well.
And that's the same scenario. That's the Watch the Skies, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And apparently, they were saying that if you played Watch the Skies before, every time they do it, it's kind of a new iteration of the rules, and they change a few bits and pieces. And of course, you never know what the aliens are really up to because it changes all the time.
I'm sure they'd be great.
Oh, joking aside, I mean, I'm almost looking forward to it. It has to be said. It's a gaming experience which, at this present time, thinking about it, is completely outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I'll either embrace the madness or be ready to slip my wrists by about 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll just get you hyped up on chocolate and we'll just unleash you.
That'll be it. Oh, Sugar Rush, that'll be it. There'll be no stopping me.
Yeah. Quick drink this highly translucent fizzy drink and off you go. Go talk to America first.
I don't look out for Shuck, he's stoked up on 3 Cokes.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, okay, yeah. So yes, mega gaming. That's something else we we are that's Ty's got. It's all Ty's fault. He's got us into it. Yeah.
You love it.
I'm so looking forward to it, mate. Really looking forward to it. So, we're on the final stretch of the show. So, 2 or 3 things to cover before we wrap up. First off, we need to, there is a semi-regular feature that we need to cover. Which, of course, because we haven't spoken about him a lot in this show, that is, of course, what has Dave bought this week? Well, I have a disturbing development to report.
Go on.
I was having a conversation with Mr. Hickman earlier in the week, talking about looking towards the year and what are we doing and what have you got your eyes on and what have you. And and there was an incredibly disturbing development when he turned around and said, I think I may have enough board games for now. I was shocked. I was shocked.
It won't last.
I was stunned that the influence of the luff appears to be affecting even Mr. Hickman.
Well, I think there's something worth to do, Neil, is let's get him properly into tabletop games. I mean, if he's got a board games, there's a lot more games he can buy.
Well, indeed. Yeah. Yes, and so actually, I've been forced to call an emergency planning meeting at a particularly fine curry house, which you may have participated in last year.
Yes.
In order to a crisis meeting to discuss the situation and find out, okay, so what are we going to do this year? It might actually be a case of we might end up playing playing more war games and more miniature, more miniature tabletop games as opposed to board games this year. Because Luffy was saying he's actually misses them because we kind of haven't played many for. Outside of like Market Larden, and some stuff that I've played with Josh, we kind of haven't played a lot of those for a couple of years now. So that it'd be nice to get back into that. But I do need to report that I say at least we have seen some sanity in the fact that the Escape the Dark Castle Kickstarter arrived. Which is beautifully produced, and quite interestingly, part of the Kickstarter for that game had a box, so you could put the entire game with the expansion supplements in the box, and it is interesting. They produced the box for the amount and the amount of space that is left there for future supplements. So they're obviously planning. I mean, at the moment, hopefully by the time, hopefully they're about to put the second and third scenario packs on the website. But I know we talked about the game quite a bit. But if anybody isn't aware, it's a kind of a co-op, bit like a fighting. It's a bit like a co-op fighting fantasy type game where you have to go through encounters. And you have choices on what you do. Sometimes you have to fight stuff. Other times you have to. You got a choice on whether you on the course of action you have to take. And the idea is that but I mean, you're not heroes. You're people like cooks and tanners and smiths who have been locked up in the castle and are trying to escape. And you end up and you have the end of level boss to escape, but it's a cracking game, really good. But as I say that, so the one thing I suppose Mr. Hickman has bought is Escape the Dark Castle, the complete game, but I believe that will be on sale from their website. And I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I think it's Theme Home. I'll put the name of the name escapes me.
Yeah.
I'll put the name of the company in the show notes, with the extra note that, funnily enough, they will be at Robin this year. The rebranded Robin Wargames show, which is which is like second week in February. The company's based in Nottingham, and they will be at the Robin show. So I suspect, because I was thinking it was kind of on my wish list for the expo.
Yeah.
I might end up getting it early. So that's what Stays bought. It's Escape the Dark Castle. It is well worth a look. It is a cracking game.
I haven't played it yet. I must try and get a game in.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to.
I'm sure.
Get a game in fairly soon, but no, it's a cracking little game.
So, any other business?
Any other business, Mr. Callaghan? Do you have any other? Do you have any other business?
No, I think I'm businessed out.
Yeah. So, firstly, I'd like to say thanks to everybody who's got in touch about the mental health show that we did.
Oh yeah.
That's been. We've had more mails, more people sort of sharing their stories with us. It looks like we have, sort of helped people chat about what they've been going through, which has been quite heartening, actually. So, yeah, thanks everybody who's reached out and got in touch with us. It does mean a lot. It really does.
Yeah, it's I mean, apologies sometimes if it takes us a few days to get back to you, but we appreciate all the correspondence we've had.
Yeah,
and it's as you said previously, it's quite humbling that you guys feel happy to be open and frank with us on stuff, and thank you. And as you said before, if there's anything we can do to help, then let us know.
Yeah,
because as you said on the show, one of the first hurdles is talking about it. So yeah, and if you can take that first hurdle with us, then we are more than happy.
So I think that only leaves one small order of business.
One small order of business? What's that, Mr. Hobbs?
Well, it's your birthday tomorrow, isn't
it? Indeed. Yes. Okay. Okay.
And I think a certain lovely Welshman has bought you something quite nice, and he's in a box by your feet. with no preempting whatsoever.
Okay, so yeah, I have before me, in typical Amazon fashion, I have a box the size of which is almost as big as the Welshman himself. So excuse me, I'm going to have to
don't shake it too much.
Don't shake it too much. Oh, crikey, okay. So I'm having to grab a scalpel off my desk. It doesn't say this way up or anything, does it? I think I've got that wrong. Okay. Right, okay, so, this huge box.
Be careful of that scalpel. Don't run with it.
Ow! I didn't need that leg.
Don't put it in your mouth, whatever you do.
What, the scalpel?
It's not a pen.
I don't know, eat it. Right, okay. They just love Amazon packaging. Ow! Shut up. Right, give me a minute. Talk about yourself, listeners, while I attempt to ow, break it. It's very difficult to do when you right, okay, hang on. Let's get this in the other end.
Look off the tripwire.
Mike, why is it ticking?
Oh, no, nothing. Just keep it perfectly safe. That's straight, I mean.
What earth is in here? Right, okay, I've managed to open the box. Oh, hang on. No, I haven't. So an extra piece of tape. Give me one. Right. Okay, got that. I'm sure this makes fabulous radio.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Right. Okay. It appears to be a grey bag. It's a grey bag.
The bag.
Okay. It's right. It's okay. It's okay. It's a grey bag. There's a gift for you, quote unquote, with a little thing. Happy birthday, mate. I hope you find this useful. From Mike. Thank you, Michael. Oh, good grief. What? What? Oh my, what is this? So, alright, so this is Amazon gift wrapping. They put it in a gift bag. With lots and lots and lots of ribbon. I'll have to take photos of this later.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't go any further. That's it, now you can stop and open it tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Oh, right, okay. Oh, the suspense is now killing me.
Well,
hang on, can I feel it?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh. Luke, I felt your presence. Okay, oh, what, you got me intrigued. Right, okay, pictures.
Well, it's
pictures.
It's up to you, I suppose. You can open it if you want.
Oh, I can't spoil it now.
But your birthday's not till, well, an hour away.
Oh, indeed, yes.
And at that point,
yes,
I think we'll leave Neil stuck in his conundrum.
Oh.
Will he, won't he?
Oh. It's like Christmas all over again. Right, okay, oh, that's intriguing, that is. Right, okay, thank you.
You haven't looked at it yet.
Superb, thank you very much. Well, okay, that's unexpected. Okay, right. Yes, more news either on social media or on the next show. We will get to find out what on earth it was that Mr. Hobbs has bought me for my birthday. Thank you.
But let's be honest. If you're on Twitter, you know that 7 days ago Neil posted a picture of it.
What do you mean 7 days ago? I'm sure I'll get this out before then.
Yeah, okay.
I hope. Maybe. Anyway, right. So, after that, all that self-indulgent nonsense, I think all that remains is for us to say thank you very much to Ty for joining us for this evening's show.
No problems. Thanks for inviting me on.
Thanks, Ty.
It's been fabulous. It's been fabulous to chat gaming, and yes, it would be. Yes, we must get together. We must get together again soon, sir.
Certainly will. Plenty of opportunities this year, I think.
Yes.
Excellent stuff. And thank you once again to Mr. Hobbs.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. And once again, thank you all for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the show. And we will be back with you again in a couple of weeks. So, until then, take care of yourselves. Happy gaming, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Meeples and Miniatures podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, why not share it with others by leaving us a review on iTunes? And if you have any comments or questions, you can always email the show. The address is info@meeplesandminiatures.co.uk. And you can also visit our webpage, where you'll find a complete episode archive, all the View from the Veranda podcasts, rules reviews, and our blog of hobby items and news, which is updated several times a week. This is also where you'll find the links to our presence on social media. And here you can follow us on Twitter or join our Facebook group. And finally, here you can also find details should you wish to support us by making a donation to the podcast. All this on the Meeples and Miniatures website, www.meeplesandminiatures.co.uk. The Meeples and Miniatures podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.